People are getting frustrated with the market, especially with Bitcoin right now, saying, I think that the top is in, altcoins are going to crash. Is that sentiment justified, or are people just used to being in a bear market and have no idea what a bull market feels like? Welcome to Crypto Simulation Theory. I'm the Gaussian Snake. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Let's go ahead and get started. So if we look at the total crypto market cap on the 2-week, we can see a clear bull trend emerging. And I like to, one of my sayings that I say a lot on my Telegram channel, if you're interested in joining that, links in the video description, is that when in doubt, you should just zoom out. So I've done that right here. This is total crypto market cap on the 2-week, and it just looks bullish, doesn't it? You've got total breaking out of a cup and handle, a very massive cup and handle, and it is heading up towards its 1.786 fib when you consider, if you were to consider the last going all the way back to January 2018, that particular top. If we create some new fibs that are more recent, I remember I was using old fibs for a reason in one of my old videos. If we look at the current fibs, I think it's reasonable that we could get between the 1.786 and the 2 fibs. So that would be 9.18 trillion to 12.45 trillion by the end of this cycle. I mean, look at this Gaussian channel. It hasn't really even, broken out yet. The Williams alligator is just barely turning concave up. Alligator is awake and alert. The alligators, I always forget what these things are, right? I think this is the jaws down here, teeth in the mouth. The mouth is open. The alligator's mouth is open. It's ready to swallow up some profits. So total crypto market cap is looking excellent and ready to blast off. And I think that's coming extremely soon. And, we can go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin as well on the 2-week. Again, when in doubt, zoom out. That's just what I say. And it looks similar, right? Like we're seeing alligators woken up. Just a little bit of resistance at the 1.272 fib, which is not completely unexpected after a nice parabolic move. Let's flip on the parabolic SAR and see how that's looking. Kind of get an idea of, if we should expect some more parabolic acceleration here. Yeah, I mean, let me turn off the fibs now. Let's just hide those. So yeah, I mean, look at, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parabolic uptrend dots. We typically see these get a lot more further spaced apart as the parabolic move of the cycle commences. So I suspect 2025 is going to have some pretty insane moves from Bitcoin on the 2-week. And we can actually revisit one of our indicators that we've looked at. If you've been following me on the channel for a really long time, then you're used to seeing these indicators. If you're not, go back, watch some of my old videos, and you can familiarize yourself with how we've been tracking these for a really long time. So what I'm looking for here is a reverse Chande momentum oscillator. I remember this thing topped out back in, what was it? Not sure why it's not showing up. This thing topped out back in April, March, like February, March timeframes. This is price momentum. For some reason, it's not showing up. Let me figure it out why. Oh, how do you like that? A little bit of a delay. Okay. Always something in these videos, isn't it? So you can see that we typically don't hit these high levels very often. We hit the really high level back in 2021, another really high level in December 2017, and we pretty much maxed out in February 2024. That was a pretty significant price momentum surge. First true leg of the bull market. I feel we're in the last leg of the bull market now, but it could still last a while. So we have a green signal line. Remember I said we probably would have to go red for a while and then we'd flip green. And my guess was we'd put in a lower high relative to this one. But it could be quite high. I mean, we could still come up to the 80 level or something like that. I don't think we're going to come all the way to the top. And so that's what I anticipate is going to very likely happen in Q1 of 2025. And then probably we'll get some kind of cool down and then maybe a resurgence a little bit later in the year. I do have a sneaking suspicion that this bull run may go longer than people think. So yeah, especially, the way Bitcoin has been developing. And if I had to say, what would this cycle look like? It looks like a very slow parabolic grind upwards. I would say probably like an extended version of 2017. I mean, even the Gaussian channel went from concave down green to flat red to concave up. And I think something like this is what's very likely playing out. It looks like a slower parabolic grind. And I think it's going to get us, somewhere around 200, 200, 250K, maybe 270K best case. I'm not sure if we'll hit that high, but I think 200K we're coming for you, you know. And if you think about 200K, that's like barely a 2x from where we are right now. So in terms of price momentum, you know, I really don't. The biggest move from Bitcoin was phase one of the bull market, right? So going from 15.5K to about 73.5K, you made the most ROI right there. And you know, if you just entered Bitcoin now at 49K, I mean, you're looking at max probably a 4x. If you're lucky, you'll get a 5x out of that and match the ROI from here. But I don't know. I think 200K is going to be kind of a tough target to overcome. I think 100K is something we'll overcome before the end of the year. I've been very public about saying that on this channel for quite some time. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance also on the 2-week. And we can see it starting to break down, right? We've been waiting for this moment for a while. And we noticed this on, look at the price momentum too. It's really looking bearish. But yeah, parabolic SAR has actually broken to a bear trend for the first time on the 2-week in a very long time. I mean, really since early 2024. I'd like to flip over to the weekly for a minute for Bitcoin dominance, just to kind of reveal something to you about its Gaussian channel. Look at it is slicing through. Remember, we talked about this. We said that this trend was not a very strong trend, and that while I believed that Bitcoin dominance could make it to 62 to 63%, I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. I mean, it almost made it to 62. You know, arguably we almost got to the top of my green zone, but we got into my green zone, so that's all that really matters. This was a logarithmic trend that was breaking, you know, starting to break down. It finally did break down. We're in altcoin season. I called altcoin season on a video before this even, you know, really even started to happen. And we sliced right through the 618 fib. We were heading for the 0.5 fib. I think this is probably where we'll see Bitcoin dominance maybe pick up again at the 0.5 fib, around 53.7%. And that's probably where you're going to see Bitcoin start to go past and raging past 100K. Altcoins will probably pull back a little bit. Nothing to worry, though. I think that, you know, I do think that Bitcoin dominance could still potentially come back up. It's fallen quite a bit. I'm not sure if it can reach the top of the zone. I used to think that it could. Now I'm not so sure. But I definitely think it will put in, at the very least, some kind of higher, some kind of lower high at the very least. Maybe come back up and retest the 618 fib, or potentially even get above it. So, but the alligator is starting to go to sleep on the weekly on Bitcoin dominance. So, and we're printing, you know, bearish parabolic SAR dots. So this is why we're in altcoin season, you know, because this is happening. So there's that. Let's look at ETH Bitcoin. Okay, so I didn't draw any fibs, but I do want to. ETH Bitcoin's kind of in an interesting situation. I'm going to flip off its parabolic SAR dots. I'm finding those to be kind of distracting. So we'll go ahead and flip those off. Let's draw some fibs. So, and I think these will probably, I don't really know what kind of fibs I want to draw here. It's a tough call. Has it bottomed yet? We don't really know. Yeah, screw the fibs. I mean, I could go from the past. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I could go from the past low to high and just kind of track those, because really we've just been in this like tremendous downtrend, and it's, yeah, so it's going to be kind of hard to find any good meaning to the fibs. No, not here. Get my computer to behave with me here. Okay, get trading. Why is trading view not behaving? Let's try this again. Okay, and we'll say to right here. I have my magnet on. It should grasp that. Yes, okay. So relative to 2019's ETH Bitcoin bottom, all right, which is, you know, because we don't really know if we bottomed yet, but let's just say relative to ETH Bitcoin's 2019 bottom, and we have fibs in reverse here. I think what I want to do is flip these around. Yes. Okay. So I'm flipping these around because we're in a downtrend. We pretty much appear to have potentially bottomed at the 382 fib, which is at 0.03 Bitcoin. It actually seems like a pretty reasonable place to have bottomed. It's my red zone that I drew when I first started this channel. And the alligator is still very much asleep, but we are seeing some kind of rounding out happening here. And one thing that I've sort of presented here on, let's go to the 2-week, because I do love my 2-week time frame. Well, it looks really bearish on a 2-week, doesn't it? Just absolutely spilling out. But this is a good place for a reversal. Look at, you can see the green moving average starting to curl up a little bit. If I go to the reverse Chanday momentum oscillator, interesting. My battery is charging. Yeah, okay. Got to figure out why that's happening. Hang on one second. I got to make sure my computer doesn't die on me. Okay. So I got a new computer and I was using my old charger. That was probably a mistake. Put the new charger in. Anyways, so we look at the price momentum going from April of 2021, which is near our major top for ETH Bitcoin. I think the downtrend is potentially reversing. Look at, we got all the way down to this negative 79 level. We'll just call it that, right around here. And this is a level that we don't often hit. I mean, last time we hit this level was 6 years ago. So I think that could have marked, and that was in November of 2023, that could have marked a major bottom for price momentum. And I think, we're hitting this level, getting near these levels again. Back in 2019, this was just a higher low and the start of a change in trend that lasted for quite a while. And I think that's what's happening right now. I do not think that I do not think that ETH Bitcoin is going to fall beneath its 382. I actually think there's a chance it gets above the 0.5 here into the end of December and January and starts the process of a trend reversal. Now, it's not going to just go straight up right away, but I could see something similar to this playing out. It doesn't have to play out exactly the same way. We should never expect things to play out the same way twice. But and it could, of course, face a rejection at the 0.5. That could happen. It could come back down, print yet another higher low. And either way, I think a higher low is the worst case here. I don't think ETH Bitcoin is going to come back down to the 382 fib again. So that's just my thoughts. It's looking kind of strong. Let's go ahead and look at the ADX and DI on this trend. And you can see right now that we have the ADX at a trend strength of 28.8, which is fairly strong, but it is crossing a red DI. And usually when you get these crosses, that can be a precursor to a decline in whatever just crossed it on the top. So I think we're going to see the green DI start to curl its way up into 2025, and we'll see some pretty explosive moves from ETH against Bitcoin, which is really great news because a lot of altcoins are kind of sleeping right now, and I think they'll wake up when that starts to happen. So I'm looking forward to that, honestly. ETH Bitcoin is looking fairly good. Let's go ahead. Compared to how it's looked, right? It doesn't look good, but it's looking like starting to look better. Let's see, what else do I want to look at? How about others dominance? Been a little while since I've looked at that. So others dominance broke out of, if you don't recall, sorry for all these, I'm going to just temporarily hide these fibs. Okay, others dominance broke out of this broadening, descending, or this falling wedge. It was not a broadening wedge. It was actually a tightening wedge. This wedge, and it didn't even come back and back test. It just shot right through. There's your altcoin season. So, and you can see the alligator is starting to curl up. And look at that. We actually held the long-term support trend line. Do I think that this will eventually break down? Potentially, it could. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And we're forming a really solid macro double bottom on the 2 week. Look how beautiful that looks. And if I take a look at some of my other indicators, the ones we've been looking at, look at that beautiful bullish divergence with an inverse head and shoulders on the 2 week reverse Chanday momentum oscillator. Really beautiful bullish cross on the ADX and DI with a strengthening trend. This is looking really, really good. And if we go to the Altcoin Season Index, let's take a look at where we're at there. I know last time I checked, we were at like 78. Well, if you had any doubts, that is altcoin season. It is officially altcoin season. We are actually almost at levels that we have not been at since, I need to find the dates on here. That's like early 2024. Yeah. I think we're going to stay up here quite a bit longer than we did when we just kind of peeked our heads in 2024. And if you go to past altcoin seasons, that one from the bear market was pretty significant. I think we're kind of looking at something potentially like this. I think it's going to be a strong altcoin season. I'm trying to look to the past to some other really, or like this right here. Okay. I think we're looking at a pretty strong and enduring altcoin season. There'll be troughs, but I think we're going to spend some time up here. I do. Look at how much time we spent in Bitcoin season in 2024. 2024 was arguably a Bitcoin year. 2025 is not going to be. 2025 is going to be an altcoin year, and we're already seeing the beginnings of that now. So we're shooting up here. I imagine this will cool off and, you know, kind of chop around. And we've got at least a few months of altcoin season, in my opinion. We can see what's kind of happened already over the past 90 days. Look at this. Stellar Lumens was number one. H bar at look at this. H bar has got the number one spot. XRP at number 3. SWI, one of the newer projects that has done really, really well this cycle. It's kind of modeling Solana in a lot of ways from the last cycle. Number 4, Algorand, are you freaking kidding me? At number 5, Dogecoin at number 6, Omnom at number 7, Cardano at number 8, Phantom at number 9. You know, so much for that multi-chain hack. They've come back a lot stronger. And freaking VeChain at number 10. And if you scroll down the list, you'll see a lot of these older coins. Pepe's in there, one of the newer ones. Theta, CRO, Bonk on Solana. Chainlink has actually made its way up. This is altcoin season. But what you'll notice is these are a lot of the older altcoins. Even Polygon is starting to run. Okay, these are the older altcoins from the last cycle. And there are utility coins, as we call them. And so this is sort of the first rotation. We're also seeing the AI sector start to really take off as well. So in terms of altcoin month, is this an altcoin month? You bet it is. And is this an altcoin year? Not yet. That's coming. I think that is where we're heading. Look at that beautiful bottoming process next year, guys, next year. So if your altcoin has not been running yet, then, you know, I wouldn't freak out, because the rotation of capital will hit you eventually, as long as you're not in a total scam or rug pull. This is total DeFi dominance. You can see it looks like we've put in potentially a double bottom here, and the alligator may be starting to wake up. So this is, you're seeing coins like Aave, Chainlink, Compound even starting to make a run. DeFi is a necessity during altcoin season. So, and look at that beautiful bounce for the RCMO. And, you know, you can start to see the makings of a bullish divergence on the ADX. Yeah, folks, we're just getting started. I mean, people are freaking out, and there's no reason to freak out. There's a new metric on here that a friend of mine from my Telegram channel shared with me called Memecoin Dominance. It's not officially built into TradingView yet, but I do want to open it for you so you can at least see what Memecoin Dominance looks like. And I mean, arguably, TradingView needs to do one of these, right? So this is Memecoin Dominance. I mean, what a surge it had at the end of 2020 to 2021. It's just been chopping around, and look what's happening now. Higher high, probably going to have a higher low, and then off we go. I'm telling you, meme coins aren't going anywhere. Meme coin dominance has risen from 0.07% in October of 2017, 0.06 in November of 2020, all the way to a brand new high recently of 2.9%. 2.9%. People are fading meme coins. I don't think so. This looks so bullish. Arguably a little bit of a cup and handle kind of behavior here. Yeah, I don't think, you know, you may have your own personal views on meme coins. I used to hate them, but I've learned to love them, and I see why they're so appealing, especially in a market that is so heavily dominated by, you know, poor tokenomics models. Some of the meme coins offer some of the best tokenomics, and of course 99.9% of them are complete scams. So I forget exactly which metrics this is based off of. Oh, here it is. So this is basically Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Pepe, Dog with Hat, Popcat, Bonk, Floki Inu, Brett on base, Cats in the Dog World, Mog, Notcoin, and Nero. That's a pretty decent collection. So I imagine that TradingView will probably come up with their own version of this. But wow, that looks really beautiful. So if you have meme coins, I think you're going to be very happy as the next bull leg of the altcoin cycle goes on. This is Stablecoin Dominance, which, by the way, has a red Gaussian channel for the first time ever. And it has just sliced. I think I need to. No, this is fine. I was going to put these in reverse, but it's fine. We, you know, our last local top of Stablecoin Dominance was close to 10% in June of 2022. We had a double top. November of 2022, and then Stablecoin Dominance started to pretty much flag its way down, and it had a bear flag, which just broke its way out of. It probably is going to form another bear flag at some point. It actually went down right where I thought it would go, into the first red zone, the light pink zone. I think it's heading for the 236 fib. I do believe it will get there, and that could come probably in Q1. We may see another bear flag potentially at that time. Williams Alligator is straight down, so no reason to think that we're going to see any kind of significant pullback at this point. I think if anything, Bitcoin is likely to heat up soon. Look at the RCMO going bearish signal line, and a bearish cross with a fairly weak trend strength. None of this is happening at, like, a lightning speed or anything like that on the ADX and DI. Of course, it's on the 2-week time frame, so things do tend to move a little slower on that time frame. Really bearish looking. My only concern here would be the formation of a double bottom, but seeing the way that the alligator is breaking down out of a bear flag, that's not my initial thought. I think we're going lower. I think we're actually going to break out of this light pink zone and head towards the 236 fib, where we should find some considerable support and potentially another bear flag. It could also mark the end of the bull cycle. I don't think that's likely, but it could happen. So just kind of something to keep in mind. I do think we'll come back down and revisit the 236 fib. I have my doubts about getting this low on Stablecoin Dominance, but I do have a dark red zone because it is possible we head down even that low, depending on how crazy things get next year. So I'm kind of eyeing the 236 fib as a potential turning point, and Bitcoin should have a nice bull leg along with altcoins heading into Q1 with the way that looks. So all in all, things in the crypto market look excellent right now, heading into the end of the year and into 2025. I would be really surprised if we didn't get a Santa Claus rally. I think we're going to get a Santa Claus rally, a New Year's rally, and maybe things will start to cool off after Valentine's Day or somewhere around there. But I think we're in for some really good times, and this is really the time to be locked in. So one of my next videos coming up is going to be about taking profits with altcoins. I just did a video on how to calculate your altcoin ROI. So be sure to check that out. It was a video I did last night, and but I wanted to give you a really comprehensive market update so you kind of know where I think we're at. I just think things look exceptionally good right now. We're getting closer to that phase of the market where it's almost impossible to lose money. We're not there yet. And again, if you have altcoins that haven't run hard yet, just be patient. Like, the AI narrative is running right now. I think GameFi probably will kick off pretty soon. Ondo was heating up, so the RWA, we can see, DPen start to heat up. Meme coins again, I think, are going to make another strong leg up. Even some of the smaller and micro caps will get their turn. So pretty much as long as you're not holding complete and utter garbage, well, actually, even if you are holding garbage, but you know what I mean, like scams and rug pulls and those kind of things, you should be in good shape. So I think some of these older altcoins, utility coins, are probably going to take a little breather pretty soon, like XRP, for instance, and Stellar. I think, you already have seen, what coin was it that overtook them? Now I forget, but we saw in the Altcoin Season Index, it was one of the Dino coins. I was shocked to see Algorand up there. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't looked at the Algorand chart in ages. But I think those are going to start to settle down, and and we should see the AI narrative really take over. It's already starting, and then just the money ball is going to make its way from highest risk to low, or from lowest risk to highest risk. Also, we have the FOMC meeting coming up on December 18th, and I haven't checked the probabilities today, but last I checked, people were thinking, 25 basis point rate cut was the most likely outcome. I could definitely see an argument for that. So whether rates are held steady or cut by 25 basis points, don't think it'll matter. I think crypto is going up. So it's better to be bullish right now than to be bearish. And of course, you're going to see people on crypto Twitter and on TV starting to talk bearish about Bitcoin. Oh, that's the top, 99.9 whatever K. See in 4 years. You're going to see that kind of talk. You're also going to see people calling for absolutely ridiculous price targets for Bitcoin, like 500,000, a million. Ignore that. Just pay attention to the data. The data will tell you everything that you need to know. So no need to get like hyphy about where you think Bitcoin is going to go and make these ridiculous price targets. I think Bitcoin's ROI has pretty much already been maxed out.
It's got maybe another 2x, 3x best case scenario, if all the stars align and everything goes perfectly. So we'll just say 2 to 3x left. There's much more money to be made elsewhere at this point. Of course, this is not financial advice. So thank you for joining me for Market Update, Crypto Simulation Theory. Please be sure to join me in my Telegram group. Click on the link and join if you haven't done so already. And be sure to also like, comment, and share this video to get the word out to as many people as possible. We really need to spread data-driven analysis and do away with the FUD and the hype that's just out there. And so if you can help me do that by sharing the video and by liking and all that great stuff that you do to help channels grow on YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that, because like I said, data-driven analysis is what wins at the end of the day. It's all about what the data tell us, not about what some guru tells us. And I'm not a guru. I just analyze the data and do my best with my subjective interpretation of it. So I'll see you again next time. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.